الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وتحية وسلاما على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا العبد المؤيد والرسول المسدد المصطفى الأمجد أبي القاسم محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الميامين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. اللهم صل على My dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome you to another session. And this night we will talk about commemorating the Shahadat of Hadrat Al-Qasim, the son of Al-Imam Al-Hasan, salawatullahi alayhim ajma'in. In the family of Ahlul Bayt, there are many lessons, and these lessons we should remember them all the time in our life, and we should teach our children how they act as the Ahlul Bayt youth they act. The first thing we have to understand, every individual person has a multiple dimensions in his life, in his personality. You are a student, and maybe in the same time you are a teacher. In the same time you are a husband. In the same time you are a boss. And in the same time you are a member of community. In the same time you are a father, you are a son. Then every individual person has a multiple dimensions in his life. When you are a father, means you have a certain duties, you have to fulfill them toward your children. When you are a boss, you have a certain duties, you have to fulfill them toward your employees. When you are a student, you have a certain duties, you have to fulfill them towards your teacher. And the same thing, many examples we have. If you are a husband, you are a father, you are son, you are teacher, you are member of community, you have a certain duties, you have to fulfill them toward your community. But you have to put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because you have a certain duties, you have to fulfill them toward Allah also. And the differences between your duties toward your family or your boss or your kids or your teacher, you have to put the duties of Allah on the top of your list. This is the differences. You have to put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the top of your list. You cannot claim you possess or you own anything, because everything what we have is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our body from Allah, our ability to communicate with each other from Allah, our intellect from Allah, our education, everything we have it, wealth, whatever. But the problem with our youth, this is the point here. The first thing, most of them, they don't keep Allah in the top of their list. We still receive many complaints from the family. Kids, they don't pray. They don't read Quran. They don't recite dua. They don't do this. They don't do. Father has to mention every time to them. They don't put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the top of their list. On the top of their list, make fun. On the top of their list, friends. On the top of their list, to go somewhere. Yes, you could do that, no doubt for that. But you have to understand the system of the life. You have to put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the top of this list. Because everything what we own and everything what we possess is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You cannot claim you own anything. You are weak. And you could lose everything you have it in 1 minute by the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the second point. Teach me to function different. There are some people function for a short term, and there are some people function for a long term. What does mean function for short term or function for a long term? Function for a short term, they wanted the result right away. Like someone pray and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for something. If he didn't receive the response, he quit praying. He functioned for a short term. You should function all the time for a long term, as you function in your school. When you go to study engineering or medical school, how long will it take you this? Doesn't take you 6, 8 years more? You have to pass all the exams. You have to endure too much difficulties. Why? Am I crazy to do this? No, because I endure too much difficulties now, but later on I will enjoy myself. I will become engineer, or I become a medical doctor, or I become a lawyer, whatever. I will enjoy my life. The same, my brothers and sisters, you don't see the result of worship right away. You see it later. You should function for a long term. And this will guide you to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you organize yourself for this, you are not going to organize just yourself. You will organize the entire world with you. Like, one student came to his dad, one kid came to his father, and his father was busy watching TV. And he said to his dad, help me with this equation of mathematics. His father said to him, I am watching a movie now, go, later on come to me. And after a couple minutes, the kids came again, the child came again. And he said to his dad, please help me with this equation. His dad said, no, I am busy, come to me later on. 3 times, 4 times. On the 5th time, the father watched on the floor has a newspaper. And in this newspaper, he has the entire world map in this newspaper. خريطة العالم. He took this map and he tore it by pieces, and he gave it to his son just to avoid him, just to get rid of him. He said, when you organize this map, I will help you. Just want to get rid of him. Don't bother me. I am busy with this movie. And the child took this map and right away organized it, and he brought it to his dad. Father was very surprised. He said, how did you organize this map so fast? خريطة العالم ترتبها ما هو شغلة سهل، ما هي شغلة سهلة. How did you organize this entire map? The word of all the map of all the world in 1 minute, less than 1 minute. He said that because behind it, on the other side, I have seen a picture of a human being. When I organized the human being, the entire world organized by itself. قال له شفت إنسان خلف هاي الصفحة، فعندما رتبت الإنسان ترتب العالم لوحده. This is what the goal. How to establish a good community, especially the youth community. if they function for a long term and they organize their life, they organize themselves, in reality they don't organize themselves, they organize the entire world. And the Holy Prophet Muhammad, sallu ala Muhammad, he gave hadith. He said after resurrection, before you get in your final destination, there are many questions the angel will ask you. They will ask you about your age. How did you spend your age? You know, obviously everyone is busy, is engaged, you know how to make his living. They will ask you. And they will ask you the second one. This is what we need. They will ask you about your age. When you've been young, what did you do in your life? Why? Why they ask me? In the beginning he said they will ask you about your age. عن عمره فيما أفناه وعن شبابه. طيب هو العمر مو جزء بعد من الشباب؟ ليش يسألون بعد على الشباب؟ They will ask you about your young age, and in the beginning the Rasulullah said they will ask you about all your age. But there is a special question about your young age, because your age is part of your entire age. When you are young, you are in the maximum speed of your capacity. When you are young, the community is relying on you, but when you become old, you are relying on the community. That's why this age is so important to take care of it. Before you receive your final destination, the angels will ask everyone from us about his young age, what you did in your young age. That's why they called that day the day of regret, يوم الحسرة. يوم الحسرة, not just the people who they are wicked, they feel sorry and regret. Not the people who they are fishes, they feel regret. Even the good one who performed good deed, he will feel regret, because he wish he would do more and more. Now if you are a businessman and you take me with you to Wall Street and tell me, Sheikh, come, buy shears, and we buy shears. I buy 1,000 shears. You tell me, no, Sheikh, buy more, because I am in this field, I know. Buy more, you have money, buy more, buy 10,000, buy 100,000 shears. Those, they have a great profit, good benefit. I said, no, brother, I buy 1,000. And when the time comes for the profit, I see how is great did these shears. I feel sorry that time or not? I feel sorry. I feel sorry because I lost. Why I didn't buy more and more? The same way, my brothers and sisters, we are in this life. We have to choose our time for good. We have to benefit for that time. More you do good, you benefit yourself. Especially our youth. We don't need youth just to make a fun. We need youth to serve their religion, to serve their faith. Al-Qasim is your leader. Al-Qasim is your curriculum. Al-Qasim is your road. Al-Qasim is your way. Al-Hussein asking him, when he came to his uncle Hussein, he was 11 years old or 13 years old. 11 years or 13 years. And he was trying to go to sacrifice for his uncle Hussein. Al-Hussein tested him here. He said, Qasim, describe the death for me. You are going for death. Describe the death for me. He said, Uncle Hussein, the death is sweet for me more than the honey. It is sweet for me more than the honey. If we build community like this in our youth, if we build youth like this, we are saved in this country. If we build youth, they sacrifice for the faith and they spend time for the faith and they gather in the mosque and they recite Quran and they know how to recite dua and they know about the comprehensive of Al-Quran. Really we will make Al-Qasim happy about this. And really they will make Ali al-Akbar and Al-Qasim and all the youth, they will make them happy about this. And if we read the history of Karbala, the tragedy of Karbala, those who've been sacrificed with Imam Hussein, most of them they've been youth. Al-Aqil, they've been youth. Al-Ja'far, they've been youth. All of them they've been youth. Most of them even they didn't reach the right age of their time. They've been youth, they sacrificed for Al-Islam. To come here to benefit from this, to direct our youth. Some people, unfortunately, they don't care about themselves, then they don't care about their youth also, their kids. Brothers and sisters, even I don't care about myself. Let me think al-amr bil-ma'ruf, to join good deed and forbid evil, something will make me closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you guide people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, believe me, you become closer to Allah and Allah. Okay, we tell kids all the time. Read Quran, pray. Yes, we have to teach them to function for a long term, not for a short term. The life is still open for them. We should benefit from them. We should get something for their faith with them. We cannot just to tell them you pray and if you are there, you are not there, they are not praying. We didn't do anything. And I am sure many of parents, they complain about this. We have to emphasize in the mind of our youth to reach the level of amnesty, to reach the level of Allah, beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, function all the time for a long term, and you will see the result day after day. But if you function for a short term, no, you are not going to achieve your goal and you are not going to be as successful in your life. The same way like you open a business, the same way like you go for a study, if you open a business and you don't make money in the first month, you give up next month? You close the business next month? You don't close it. You try 1 year, you try 2 years, you try your best for a long term. The same way to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-Qasim was young on his age, but he was a man in his convictions. He was a man in his faith. He was a man in his intellect. He functioned for a long term. He sees where is he going. He said, my uncle Hussein, supporting you is sweet more than honey for me. To die for you is sweet more than honey for you. This is what we need to establish in our community. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يوفقنا وإياكم لصالح الأعمال والخيرات. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يعجل في فرج ولي أمره القائم المنتظر. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما.